They told him, don't look there. But the rancher couldn't resist.
And when he finally looked, everything changed.
He knew he wasn't supposed to go any closer.
But what he saw lurking inside pulled her in.
He lit the lantern, hoping light would calm his nerves.
But the way the tools were stacked, didn't make sense. Footprints, but not from any animal he knew.
Then, something moved behind him.
He turned fast, but nothing was there. Something above him was shifting.
He shouldn't have climbed that ladder.
But what a South Asian woman found wrapped in burlap would spark outrage.
He almost walked away, almost.
But the moment he opened it, the truth blinded him.
It wasn't natural. Nothing about it was.
Symbols, ones he'd never seen, pulsed inside.
What he did next is what enraged everyone.
He didn't call for help. He didn't report it. Instead, he took it for himself.
And that decision would spark fury across the region. He escaped into the night, determined to hide what he'd found. They followed the clues he left behind. And when the sheriff saw the glowing residue, he knew it wasn't normal.
Meanwhile, the rancher reached a place no one else knew about.
Whatever was inside, he wanted it for himself.
The markings grew brighter, reacting to his presence.
He knew he shouldn't open it again, but curiosity consumed him.
Inside floated something that defied all explanation.
And the moment he touched it, his world shifted.
The orb unleashed a burst of energy he couldn't control.
It threw him to the ground like he weighed nothing.
Meanwhile, the townsfolk were closing in.
Families feared what the rancher might unleash.
All right, let's form up. We're moving out before dark.
So the sheriff organized a search before things got worse.
They moved fast, unaware of what he had awakened.
Back at the cabin, the orb grew unstable, and the rancher feared he'd made a terrible mistake. The blast rippled through the valley. And everyone realized this was far bigger than any of them imagined.
The explosion didn't stop them. It only made them run faster.
When they reached the cabin, they found devastation.
The rancher barely clung to consciousness.
The orb had become wildly unstable.
Even the sheriff didn't know how to approach it. He ordered everyone to stay back for their own safety. But the crowd wanted the rancher punished immediately.
And as he woke, he saw their rage.
They blamed him for everything that followed. This is all your fault. You brought this upon us.
But the orb wasn't done yet.
The shockwave threw the crowd off their feet.
Only the sheriff held his ground.
The orb lifted itself, as if preparing for something.
Even the animals sensed the danger. The sky itself began to warp unnaturally.
The rancher believed he could still control it.
But the sheriff refused to let him make things worse.
Then the orb signaled something, or someone.
The heavens responded in a way no one expected. And in that moment, they realized the rancher's mistake had awakened something far beyond their world.
The signal grew stronger, as if calling something from the sky.
The sheriff dragged the rancher to safety, even though the crowd wanted him punished.
The villagers finally realized they were in real danger.
The orb expanded, as if preparing to release something.
Even nature knew something unnatural was happening. The rancher tried to defend his actions.
But no one wanted excuses now.
Another pulse erupted, even more powerful than the last.
The valley shook, as if the earth itself reacted.
The rancher realized he had unleashed something he couldn't control. Then lightning connected with the beam, like a response.
Instead of weakening it, the lightning made it stronger.
The earth trembled, splitting under the pressure.
A flash so bright, the entire valley lit up like day.
Then the beam reversed, pulling everything toward its core.
People struggled to hold on.
The
sheriff refused to let the rancher be taken. Finally, the orb began to collapse.
One last burst, and then everything went quiet.
When the dust settled, the orb was gone. Even nature seemed to warn him, but he refused to turn back. Every step he took was a step deeper into a secret no one wanted uncovered.
Even the signs were violently clear, but he just kept going.
And when darkness tried to swallow him, he lit it up. What he found inside was older than the ranch, older than the town. And for the first time, he hesitated. He hesitated.
But something else had already noticed him.
And whatever it wasn't hiding anymore.
He finally understood why they said, "Don't look there!"
But now, it was too late. It was too late.
The whole place began to wake up.
And all he could do now was run. Because what followed him wasn't human. Freedom was right there, but it felt miles away.
He barely made it out, alive. But the cave wasn't the only thing that closed forever.
When the others found him, they finally heard the truth.
And for once, no one told him to stop looking.
Because deep down, they all knew it wasn't over.
And whatever he saw in there changed him forever.